কলকাতা আন্তর্জাতিক চলচ্চিত্র উৎসবের স্পেশাল ফোকাস কান্ট্রি অস্ট্রেলিয়া।
Some of the films that I made mistakes on, and sometimes I would be directing a film, and on the second day I think I've made a big mistake. I can't do this one. It's not going to work out properly. But some of them did. The best known one that's being shown here is Driving Miss Daisy, which won a number of Academy Awards, including Best Picture. So that was good, and that was really that was a story that moved me tremendously. It was about him. It was about him growing up in the South in America with his grandmother, and she had this black man who came on as her driver because she wasn't allowed to drive anymore. They had to get someone to drive her. And then it was about the friendship between the two of them. And I thought it was wonderfully written, very honestly written. And we filmed it in Atlanta where it actually happened. And I met the people involved. Now, by now the grandmother had died and the man the real driver had died. But I met his son who was a policeman. He was a policeman in Atlanta.
And in fact, one of the reasons that I'm happy to be in Calcutta is because when I read Rabindranath Tagore, he's just such a beautiful writer. I just want to have been to where he was writing about.
Pather Panchali. Yes.
Well, I watched it many times, and I put it on my list of the greatest it was the list for the best film ever made. It didn't win. The film that won was a Belgian film I'd never heard of. You remember that? Yeah, there was a Belgian film I'd never heard of, came out as the best film ever made. I've never seen it. But evidently the directors all over the world voted, and that's what they picked.
Yeah.
So I must track it.
Opportunity to watch films. I don't like to see them on a small screen, and I live 100 kilometres from the nearest big screen. I also have learnt in my life not to go to the movies when I'm working on something because it depresses me. If I see a good film, I think, what can I do to make what I'm doing as good as that? It's fantastic. If I see a bad film, I think, what is to stop what I am working on from being as bad as that?
29তম কলকাতা আন্তর্জাতিক চলচ্চিত্র উৎসবের স্পেশাল ফোকাস কান্ট্রি যেহেতু অস্ট্রেলিয়া, তাই অস্ট্রেলিয়ার 6টি ছবি দেখানো হচ্ছে। অস্ট্রেলিয়ান পরিচালক ব্রুস বেয়ার্সফোর্ডের 6টি ছবি এবার প্রদর্শিত হচ্ছে কলকাতা আন্তর্জাতিক চলচ্চিত্র উৎসবে। এছাড়াও অস্ট্রেলিয়ার ছবি দ্য সার্ভাইভাল অফ কাইন্ডনেসও দেখানো হচ্ছে। অস্ট্রেলিয়ার বিশিষ্ট ব্যক্তিরা বক্তব্য রেখেছেন। এরকম আরও বিভিন্ন আপডেটের জন্য চোখ রাখুন মিউজিক বাংলায়। এনজয় সারাদিন।